What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I'm Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. I've got two expert handicappers on the show today. We're going to give you four free picks, two in college, two in the NBA. I've got Chip Chirimbus and Dan Kaiser with me. But before we get to the picks, let's talk about NoHouseAdvantage.com. It's a new site for all of you fantasy players right there, and fantasy baseball is sneaking up on us. Check out NoHouseAdvantage.com. They've developed a dynamic new platform for you fantasy freaks. Just use our promo code P&P. That's PAND. They're going to match your first deposit up to $50 when you get started with NoHouseAdvantage.com. With me today, I've got Chip Chirimbus in the house. How's it going, Chipper?
It's going great. As long as we can make a birdie every once in a while, things will be good.
Hey, I know I try. So let's talk Utah at Arizona. Arizona's minus 11. The total on this one's 146. What do you think about this one, Chip?
Well, Arizona is considered what was considered one of the teams that should make it to the Final Four, at least to the Elite Eight. Highly rated all year long, and they come off one of the worst losses of the entire season. They lost to Stanford, and Stanford is just the dregs of the Pac-12. So I think that Arizona's focus is going to be a little more intense this week, especially at home where they've won and covered their last four in a row. Now they're playing Utah, who in the past, the Utes have been very, very tough basketball-wise, and they really seem to be able to, like in football, they seem to be very competitive. But this year, not so much. I don't think so. I mean, they are 17-9, but I just don't see the same thing out of them that I have in years past. They're 14-12 against the number, Allie, and they're 1-4 on the road against teams with winning record, which Arizona obviously has a winning record. So I'm going to take the Wildcats here. I think that they're going to be in a foul mood after losing to Stanford. I mean, my goodness, the Cardinals are just so weak on the court this year, and yet they handled probably the best team in the Pac-12, and that might even include UCLA.
Yeah, I know that a lot of money went to money heaven on that game, on that Stanford Arizona game. And I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a huge bounce back spot, and you got to get those wins, especially your home wins. Arizona's one of the great teams. Good teams win, great teams cover. We're going to lay the 11 with the Wildcats when they take on Utah tonight. Let's move into the NBA. But before we do, let me tell you, people, we do have a special promo over at the site, and it is madness. All right. Now, this is an additional 5% you can save when you use the Power Hour promo. Head over to the site, find Chip Chirimbus, and then use our promo code Madness. It's going to save you 25% off all of his best bets. Chip, how you been doing over at the site?
Not bad at all. We had a weekend sweep with megabuck plays in college and NBA action, and we're looking for the same thing to happen this weekend. The games are getting to be really, really intense now, Ali. We've had a resume. We've seen what they've done. These teams have all played at least 20 games, and some of them even more. So we really have something to base it on. They've had previous experience, matchups against each other, and we ride off of that. So looking forward to another big weekend. And now we can fully concentrate on it with the football having passed us by. I mean, we're sad about that for the most part, but we can still come up with big winners in college basketball and NBA action.
Yes, we can, because that's what we do. All right, let's talk some NBA for your Thursday night. The Clippers are at the Suns. Suns -1. The total on this one's a 221.5. What do you got for me, Chip?
Well, the Suns have been an enigma all year. They've struggled. They haven't had it together. Chris Paul, I think, is probably one of the most overrated players in the NBA, and they still think that he has it. I don't know if he has it. I don't think so. Phoenix, of course, is waiting for Kevin Durant to get healthy. I mean, he's been traded there, but he's not going to suit up until after the All-Star break. And everyone seems to think that Phoenix is going to have a viable shot in the West. I don't know. When you got Chris Paul still there, but then again, the pressure on him to perform is not going to be there like it has in the past to score. They got Devin Booker. And but the Suns are here playing the Clippers, who have most of the last two seasons have been without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Now those two guys are together, Ellie, and they are putting up points like crazy. They've gone 7-1 to the over after a win. They've gone 19-6 to the over on the road, and they're sitting here in Phoenix. Now, Phoenix has been an under team because most of their parts have been missing for a good part of the year. They're, I think, 6-1, 6-0. They're under in their last 6 games. But the Clippers are going to control the tempo here, Allie. I'm really sure of this. These two guys are finally in uniform together, Leonard and George, and they're really putting on a show. They feel really confident, and I think the Clippers are going to put up plenty of points here to go over this total.
All right, so over we take it. I on my morning wood show this morning, Devin Booker over 24.5 points was also a pretty popular pick. So for you
Yep.
prop bettors out there, maybe look
Okay.
at Booker over his points because he's going to be trying to keep up with the offense that Kawhi and George
Right.
are putting out. So Chip says over the 221.5. That's how we're going to play the Clippers at the Suns on this Thursday night. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour is on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for stopping by the show, Chip. I'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Allie.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Up next, I've got Dan Parsons from the Insiders Room. How's it going, Dan?
Got the first part right, but I'm not as big as Nick.
That's fair. That is fair. Well, you're still part of the Insiders Room. I mean, that's just it, right?
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So we're talking.
I've never been called Dan Parsons before, so I had to think.
Did I call you Dan Parsons? I'm so sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's what I meant.
I've been on vacation for a week. Dan
no problem.
Kaiser, my dad. I'm sorry. I've been on vacation for a week. I need a vacation for my vacation. All right. So Purdue -1 at Maryland. We're on different sides of this one. The total's 132. What do you got going on here?
Yeah, first, before I get to this one, just thoughts out to the Spartan Nation after the mass shooting this weekend or this weekend. You know, but as Spartans, we always stand strong, so we'll bounce back from this one. Yeah, and this one, Purdue took the first game over Maryland 58-55. You know, Maryland's been pretty dominant at home this season, and you got Purdue coming off that upset loss to Northwestern. You know, like that cost them the number 1 spot in the polls, which doesn't seem to be a very lucky thing, as Alabama lost last night as number 1. But yeah, coming into this one, you know, Purdue's only lost 2 out of 9 games away from home. The 3-0-1 against the spread in the last 4 games following an ATS loss. And to be honest, I just don't think Maryland has anybody that will match up with Edey in this one. I think Purdue bounces back. I know I'm going against a lot of things, you know, taking a team on the road, yada yada yada. But I just think Purdue will bounce back in this one, and I like Edey to dominate in this game, so I'm taking Purdue.
I'm just on this trend of like fading ranked dogs. And I know that -1 isn't a dog, but when you're one of the number 1 teams in the country and you're -1 on the road, I do feel like that's almost dog status. So I'm on the other side. I'm on Maryland on this one. I did this with Tennessee. I did it with Northwestern. I did it with Oklahoma. I did it with Syracuse. They're playing ranked teams. The line is really short, and that's just kind of the way that I do it. So.
Right. And I've lost a few of these, so I'm due to get one.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, but I am on the other. Respectfully, I disagree. Okay, so let's move into some NHL. Before we do, though, let me remind everyone about that promo code again. It's Madness. It saves 20% off the entire. Oh, we changed that. Saves 20% off the entire site. I'm telling you, vacation, man. So head over, check out Dan Kaiser at picksandparlays.net. Save yourself some skrill and pick up his premium plays. How have things been going over at picksandparlays.net since I've been gone, Dan?
It's been better. It's just I'm just kind of like, you know, just every day just seem to like be breaking even. So, you know, I'm just kind of just biding my time until the tourney starts.
Till we dance, until the big dance, baby. All right, so let's move into some hockey action. Panthers are at the Capitals. Panthers -120. The total on this one is 6.5. What do you have going on here?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Panthers in this one. I mean, Washington comes in, they're just scoring just a tad over 3 goals a game, but they're without their leading scorer in Alex Ovechkin, who's scored 32 goals this season for the team. And you look at the rest of the team, the next closest goal scorer for them has only scored 13 goals in 56 games. So without Ovechkin in that lineup, I think they're going to really struggle to find goals. Florida, they've been on a little bit of roll here. They've won 5 of their last 7 when playing on a day's rest. They've won the last 4 head-to-head versus Washington. Washington's 1-4 in their last 5 games at home, and 1-6 in the last 7 when their opponent scored 2 more or fewer goals the game before. I just like this Florida team right now. They should be able to put the puck in the back of the net against the Capitals, and without Ovechkin, right, it's going to be a struggle for the Capitals to find the back of the net. So I'm going to take Florida in this one at -140.
All right, I'm going to trust you on this one, but the way that I do my line movement capping, like the Florida started at a minus 140, now they're cheaper at a 116 is what I see them out with 95% of the cash on them. That's one of my like ding, 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 take the dog situations, but I'm not a hockey expert, so I'll give this one to you. Although, again, I respectfully disagree. So Panthers on the money line is what Dan Kaiser is doing with this one. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Use that promo code MADNESS to save you 20% off the site. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Power Hour Day today. Good luck to everyone.